What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Uncle Fred back in the house again. Been away for a couple of days since I did my little NCAA college football video, talking about some things in college football as that carousel continues to go round and round and round. But that's not why we're here today. Go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Like, comment, and subscribe. Get involved with the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. Guarantee you will not be disappointed. This video won't be long. Just kind of want to touch on my pick'ems results from last week. Maybe just touch on a couple of games, and then we're gonna do our pick'ems for week 13 and kind of see what's going on. As I always say, man, NFL, man, it's the gift that keeps on giving, man. You gotta love the NFL. It's just a lot of action, a lot of times things you don't expect, a lot of upsets. Your boy didn't do so well last week, man. I mean, you know, I have to admit I was kind of feeling myself last week because your boy went 11-4 in 15 games. And I don't know, man. But this week I went 6-9. Yuck. 6-9. Just gonna kind of give you an update of the games, and we're just gonna talk about a couple of them. Then we're gonna do our pick 'em for next week, and then we're gonna be gone. We're not gonna be here long. All right, week 12 started off on Thanksgiving. Lions and Bears. Bears win 16-14. Heartbreaking loss for the Lions. Again, they found a way to lose, and now they lose 16-14 at the last second. Kicked the field goal at the last second, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but not much. But also on Thanksgiving, Cowboys lose 36-33 in overtime. You know, I took that one on the chin. You know, I was upset about that one because, you know, I bleed silver and blue, and you know, it is what it is. So, you know, can't cry over spilled milk. We got a game this coming Thursday. We got a game tomorrow night. We're gonna do a pick 'em on that. It's gonna be its own video though. Also Thanksgiving night, the nightcap. Buffalo 31, New Orleans 6. Okay, nice bounce back game for the Buffalo Bills. Nice bounce back after, you know, getting whooped the week before. You know, way to bounce back. Way to bounce back for that. You know, got whooped by the Colts last week. And so, speaking of the Colts, Tampa Bay beats them 38-31. I think the Colts had like 5 turnovers in that game. You can't win no game with 5 turnovers. And then we're gonna talk a little bit about that game. Atlanta 21, Jacksonville 11. Missed that game. Missed the Tampa Bay Indianapolis game. So, you know, I had Indianapolis. Also, I missed this game. Ooh, I turned the page too quick. Cincinnati 41, Pittsburgh 10. Ooh, never expected that kind of game. I kind of thought maybe the Cincinnati would win a tough, hard-fought game, but I didn't think it'd be a boat race. Man, it was 38-3, man, before they scored a touchdown. Man, I don't know. But anyway, and then in the Who Cares Bowl, I missed that one too. New York Jets beat the Houston Texans 21-14. Definitely not going to talk about that one. I promise you that one. Okay. Carolina got whooped by the Miami Dolphins 33-10. We're going to talk a little bit about that one. You know, and it's like I told you about Cam. I hate to say I told you so on that one, you know, but I did. I tried telling you that. Right? But Miami win 33-10. New England 36, Tennessee 13. Told y'all about that one. Pats ain't nothing to play with. They 8-4 now. Yeah. Looking like 2001, man, all over again. New York Giants 13, Philadelphia 7. The heck? Yeah, that's one. That's a head scratcher there. Philadelphia's playing so well. I think they won like 3 straight, and then they wet the bed on that one, man. Jalen Hurts, we'll talk a little bit about that one and the ineffectiveness of Jalen Hurts in that game, and but and his numbers, but yeah, they took that one. That's one of the upsets too that I lost. I lost a lot of games, man. 6-9. Los Angeles Chargers at Denver Broncos. Denver 28, Chargers 13. Herbert was not good in that game. Teddy Bridgewater was the truth. He had one of the best passer ratings of the season. That we'll just kind of go over his statistics in that game as we go. But that's one I missed too because I had the Chargers winning that one. Denver, you can't seem to peg Denver, man. They beat the Cowboys. I'm like, okay, they're doing something. Then they lose to the Eagles, and then they, and I just can't peg them. Don't know. Won't know. They play Kansas City next Monday night or next Sunday night. But we're gonna see. Los Angeles Rams and Green Bay Packers. Green Bay wins 36-28. What has happened to the Rams? That's 3 losses in a row. We're definitely gonna talk about that one. And talk about Green Bay. And we're gonna have to maybe start crowning them, on the NFC. Minnesota and San Francisco. San Francisco 34, Minnesota 26. I think it might be time to call in to pull the shovel out on Minnesota. Kind of thought they was ready to turn that page and wasn't able to do it. Okay. Baltimore 16, Cleveland 10. Very, very hard to watch game. Lamar Jackson turned it over 4 times, had 4 picks, and Baker Mayfield was able to turn them into 3 points. All 4 of them picks. Very ineffective. Wasn't able to move the football. I'm not going to really talk about that game, but it was a very not enjoyable game to watch, man. It just wasn't. But Baltimore wins 16-10. On Monday night, also not a very good game. Washington football team. I got that one right. Washington football team 17, Seattle 15. Seattle had a chance to tie it up, and Russell Wilson did what he did. Step up in the pocket, hits was it the tight end? Who did he hit for like a 50-something yard touchdown when the Washington football team was supposed to be in prevent? I don't know how he was able to stick that in there. But he did, and but they weren't able to get the 2-point conversion, and the Washington football team wins 17-15. Seattle falls to 3-8, and it might be time that movie is over. It's done. I don't know who's leaving. Maybe both of them. Maybe Seattle starts from scratch, but they're 3-8, and they're not making the playoffs this year, man. They wanted. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for Detroit, they'd had a worse record in the NFC. Wasn't for Detroit, they'd had the worst record in the NFC because everybody got more wins than them. Even the New York Giants got 4 wins. They're 4-7. Okay, Seattle's 3-8 in the basement. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, like I said, your boy went 6-9. Now we're gonna talk about them in order. Bears 16, Lions 14. Lions had actually my man Goff had hit a touchdown pass late in the early in the fourth quarter, had the Lions up 14-13, and all they had to do was get a stop, and they got the win. They let the Bears get in the field goal range. It was about 2 minutes left, and they had a timeout left, and it was like 3rd and 9. They had come back from I want to say they came back from the 2-minute warning. It was 3rd and 9, and they came up on the field, and then the Lions called a second timeout because, according to Aaron Glenn, who was the defensive coordinator, that they somehow half the defense were in man and half of them was in zone, and they would have got a walk-in touchdown on that because they were so out of sort. But you can't call timeouts on back-to-back plays. Okay, it wasn't after the 2-minute warning. They had called a timeout with like 1:40 left. And if they get this stop, they kick the field goal, they got a minute and some change to go down and kick their own field goal. But because they ran on the field. They called back-to-back timeouts. You know, they actually get the first down, and then just ran it all the way down to the like 2 seconds, and they kicked the field goal and won it. So Lions inventing new ways to lose games, and man, it's just gut wrenching. They lost to the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson had a 4th and 19. He converted. Minnesota Vikings, they had a turnover late, but then they had like 60 yards, and they kicked a 57-yard field goal to win it. I mean, they just can't win a game. Then they had a chance to beat Pittsburgh, but they couldn't get no offense, end up with a tie. I mean, they just found all kind of ways to lose games, man. But they lose 16-14. Okay. That Indianapolis Tampa Bay game. That's an interesting game because at first the Indianapolis coach was kind of like taking it to him. Tampa Bay scored first, and then comes right back. And but what I didn't like from this game is that it seemed like, and I watched a good bit of this game. What I didn't like was that the Colts, they come in with the leading rusher in the league, with Jonathan Taylor, who had I think 1,132 yards and 13 touchdowns in like 10 games. And so Tampa Bay is going to try to take that from them. So they kind of did a cowboy thing. They let the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take them out of their game. So then they start throwing the ball quite a bit. But then now in the fourth quarter, when the game seemed like it was out of reach, they started running the ball. And Jonathan Taylor had a couple of nice runs late in the game. And he ended up with 16 carries for 83 yards and a touchdown. And but the Colts turned it over 5 times, man. And Tom Brady was actually pretty pedestrian, 25 of 34, 226, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But it was Lenny, 17 carries, 100 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That daggone playoff Lenny. He also had receiving. He also had 7 catches for 31 yards and another touchdown. So Lenny had 4 touchdowns. Okay, so that was how they won that game. Tampa Bay had 359 yards of offense. The Colts 392. But like I said, they had 5 turnovers in that game. And let's see here. Let me make sure I ain't lying to y'all. I can get my cursor to do what it's supposed to do here. Here we go. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, they had 2 interceptions. Carson Wentz threw 2 interceptions, and I think there was at least 3 fumbles. And so Indianapolis threw 2 interceptions, and I think Indianapolis had 5 turnovers. Okay, they fumbled 3 times, lost all 3. Carson Wentz, had a pretty decent game. Otherwise, 27 of 44, 306, 3 touchdowns, but he had 2 interceptions. And you can't turn the ball over that many times. You just can't. Not against a good team. And I thought they had a chance to win that one, but playoff Lenny had a long touchdown run late in the game, and that put the game away. The Colts had a chance late, but weren't able to cash it in. They win 38 to 31. So that's that. So that's that game. So that's one I had wrong. I had the Indianapolis was playing well. I thought they was gonna get real physical with them, but like I said, Frank White's not White's. What is his name? Frank. Is this the coach of the Colts? He let them get him out of kilter, man. There's ways to run the football. You ain't just gotta go off tackle right, off tackle left, or I formation up the middle. There's ways you can set up that run, and I don't think they really did that well. So they end up losing that game. So next we're gonna go with the Carolina Panthers and the Miami Dolphins, and I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on that one, but just understand that Uncle Fred tried to tell y'all. I tried to told y'all, but y'all wasn't trying to heard me. Okay, tried to tell y'all. Okay, Cam, like I said, everybody was all excited. I was excited to see Cam back. All right, but I tried to tell y'all when they played the Arizona Cardinals. What's the dude's name? PJ Walker. He had gotten them all the way down the field with some running by McCaffrey. Got them all the way down to the 1 yard, and they brought Cam in, and he had 2 touchdowns, a touchdown run and a touchdown pass, a 1 yard each. And he put 3 of 8 from the passing, and he had like 12 yards rushing. Everybody was like, "Yeah, Cam back. I'm back." And then the next week when they played the Washington football team, he got a nice little, 25, 27-yard touchdown run. He ran to the center of the field, and he was hot dogging and doing all that stuff, which, like I said, I know he's happy to be back. But I tried to tell y'all weren't going anywhere with him. That's all right to score a touchdown when you're on the 1 yard line. That's easy to do. But when you got to get at, you actually got to engineer a drive, multiple times against a good defense like the Dolphins. Look how they did Lamar Jackson. Let me give you Cam stats, okay? Let me give you so y'all think I'm just making up stuff. I think I'm making up ish. Let me show you what Cam did. All right. Carolina had 198 yards of total offense. All right. Understand that. Cam Newton was 5 of 21 for 92 yards and 2 interceptions. I did not stutter. 5 for 21, 92 yards, 2 interceptions. Okay. Was never in that game, totally ineffective. I think it's like 2004. That's like the lowest completion percentage of a quarterback in like 10, 15 years. Okay? Was not good. Conversely, Tua Tagovailoa, 27 of 31, only 4 incomplete passes, 231 yards and 1 touchdown. And and they just had a nice swift butt kick. That's what that was. And but yeah, Carolina's now 5-7, and Christian McCaffrey got hurt again. He's out for the season. So I think 2 weeks ago he was all happy and giddy. Right now, I think that party's over right now. So Carolina loses 33-10 to the Miami Dolphins. Don't look now, but the Dolphins have won 3 straight, and I think they are 5-7. I think they play the Giants next week, and I think the Jets the week after that. So they got a very good chance of being 7-7. Who knew? Okay, they were like 0-5 at one point this season. Okay, all right. So Tennessee and New England. Let's look at that one right quick. But only thing I'm gonna tell you about that one is that New England, you really not wanting to play them right now, and a lot of people are talking about that. They think that maybe New England might be the best team in the AFC. I don't know if I can quite go that far yet, but they are formidable. Their defense is smart. They don't make mistakes. Mac Jones, Roll Tide, doing what he does. He was. I had to pull it up. It went away. It went away on your boy. Here we go. Mac Jones was, and the Patriots had 394 yards of total offense. Mac Jones was 23 of 32 for 310 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Tannehill, 11 of 21, 93 yards. Yuck. But they did have this dude named Dante Hilliard, 12 carries, 131 yards, and a touchdown. Had a 68-yard. That was aided by a 68-yard touchdown right before halftime when the Patriots thought they were in prevent, and they thought they was going to throw the ball, and they slipped the draw play in on him. And that dude has speed. He went right down up the middle, and they couldn't catch him. And but that was pretty much the end of it. They really didn't do a whole lot. But then Dante Foreman, dude from Texas, they just picked up, also had 100 yards, 19 carries, 109 yards. Tennessee had 270 yards rushing, but they only had 355. They only had 85 yards passing, so that means like 8 yards and sacks or whatever, because they had 93 yards passing. New England, 289 yards passing, 105 yards rushing. And nice balancing act here with Ramondre Stevenson, 9 carries, 46 yards, and Damian Harris, 11 carries for 40 yards. Nice balanced attack. As I said before, New England don't make mistakes. They play smart defense. They're not going to let you get them no big plays, and they got them on a couple of running plays. But they was up by 20, I think, at the time. They ended up winning by 23, 36-13, and clash of the two division winners, leaders, and New England leading the AFC East at an 8-4 record at the perch, which they are accustomed to being at, sitting on top of the AFC East, looking down on everybody else. But don't look now. Next Monday night, huge game at Orchard Park with the New England Patriots visiting the Buffalo Bills. And we're going to talk about that one at the end of this segment here. Okay. So that's all we got about that one. Only thing I'm going to talk about Philadelphia and the New York Giants. Only thing I'm going to talk about that is the stat line. If I can just pull it up, because these things are all over the place here. I'm trying to find it. I know I just saw it. But the stat line, Jalen Hurts was that's my boy. Roll Tide. I'm with him. Whatever he's doing, I'm supporting him. But he was not good at all. He was not good. But anyhow, I can get my cursor to act right here. It's all over the place. It won't go where I want it to go. Here we go. All right. Jalen Hurts was, first of all, the Philadelphia Eagles had 332 yards rushing. 332 yards total offense. 208 yards rushing. That's like the third or fourth straight game they've had two Bills rushing. But Jalen Hurts, man, 14 of 31, 129 yards, and 3 interceptions. Ain't gonna get it done right there, man. Okay. But running the ball, Jalen Hurts was 8 carries, 77 yards. Boston Scott, 16 carries for 64 yards. Miles Sanders, 9 carries, 64 yards. So they're gonna run the football now. They're gonna run the football. But you can't throw it away 3 times. But Daniel Jones was only 19 of 32, 03. He had 1 touchdown. He also led him in rushing, 9 carries, 30 yards. Saquon Barkley actually did 13 carries for 40 yards. But the Giants did just enough to win. They 4-7, and they won. I think they won 2 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. No, they lost Tampa Bay the week before. They won the week before that, though. So they're 4-7 right now. So, but yeah, the Eagles not good at all this day. I think there was some back and forth with Devontae Smith, and I think he had 2 catches for 22 yards. And I think there's something going on with them not getting the football to him and like they needed to, and that they had some back and forth. And they teammates, and they both rolled Tide, but there was something going on between them two, and I hope they get that resolved. But the Eagles, they fall to 5-7, just a game ahead of the New York Football Giants. Okay? So now 2 games I'm going to talk about next. The Los Angeles Chargers at the Denver Broncos. The only thing I'm going to talk about that one is the Teddy Bridgewater, as Shannon called him, Teddy Bicycle, because he just on his bicycle. He not going to throw for no big yards or take no chances or any of those types of things. He just going to do what he do. But here we go right here. Here we go. All right. Yeah, the Denver Broncos had 302 yards of total offense. Teddy Bridgewater, he didn't have that great. He was 11 of 18, 129 and a touchdown. It wasn't that great. Justin Herbert, 28 of 44, 303, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But they were able to win 28-13. But yeah, Teddy Bridgewater supposedly had a great game. 11 of 18, 129. They also got Drew Lock came in for 4 out of 7 for 26 yards. But if you're the Los Angeles Chargers, you can't lose this game. Seems like they're up one week, down the next. Beat Pittsburgh last week in a very impressive offensive showing. They come up against the Denver Broncos, who the Steelers have beaten and can't get anything done. Broncos go to 6-5, just like the Chargers. They're 6-5. But I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about that. They just but the game I want to talk about, and it's going to be the last game we talk about on this segment before we go to our pick'ems for next week, is the Los Angeles Rams at the Green Bay Packers. Now, I knew this was going to be the game of the day. I kind of felt like, the two top 5, top 4 teams in the NFC, and the Green Bay kind of, been kind of, they kind of been on autopilot a little bit. Aaron Rodgers had, missed the game, and he came back. He kind of wasn't that great when he played Seattle, and it was okay. And then who did they play last week? Who did they beat last week? Somebody last week. Can't remember who they won last week. I have to go look at myself. But they won. They won. And so no. They lost to the Vikings. No. They lost. I'm wrong. They lost. Okay. So here they are, this particular game. They came back. And so here we go with Green Bay had 399 yards to 352 yards. Let me tell you something. Matthew Stafford gonna have to get it together. Sean McVay gonna have to get it together. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you what's going on with them. Now they were 7-1 early in the season, and it looks like they was on their way. Everybody was saying Matthew Stafford gonna be the MVP. Then they ran into the Tennessee Titans. Okay, then they ran to the San Francisco 49ers. Okay, then they had a bye. Then they ran to the Green Bay Packers. Okay, and they lost 3 games in a row. And you know what all 3 games got in common? Matt Stafford has thrown a pick 6 in all 3 games. He's thrown 2 interceptions in all 3 games. Okay? No, he only had 1. He had 2 interceptions against the Titans, 2 against the 49ers, and 1. So he's got 5 interceptions in 3 games and 5 touchdowns in 3 games. Okay? It's not going to get it done. But what I am noticing about them is, they're not running the football. They're not running the football. You had Henderson, 16 carries for 55 yards, and Stafford himself had 1 carry for 1 yard, and Sony Michel 3 carries for 14 yards. That's 20 carries. But for like 78 yards. The Ram offense, when Sean McVay was in his element, when he was, he was spreading his sauce around. They ran the football. They ran a lot of misdirections, bootlegs, and all these sorts of things. They ran the football. They had Todd Gurley, and so I guess they thought when they got Matthew Stafford that they could just let him just throw the ball. Because I think when they played the 49ers, I think they threw it like 45 times and ran it 10. Okay, and what's ended up happening is the Rams are getting whipped at the line of scrimmage. All 3 games, they got whipped at the line of scrimmage. Their offensive line because you having Matthew Stafford drop back 35 and 40 times a game, and there's no balance. And the Ram offense works best in the company with a running game, and somewhere along the line they've kind of forgotten that. But Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers was Aaron Rodgers. He was that dude, made some big time throws, and 28 of 45. Now you might say, well, dang, they're throwing it a lot, but but Aaron Jones ran it 20 times by himself. Okay, and not Aaron Jones, but AJ Dillon ran it for 20 times, and Aaron Jones ran it for 20. That's 30 rushes. Okay. That's 30 rushes. They'll get it done, even if it ain't for a lot of yards. It was like 30 carries, but don't let me start guessing. Let me pull up the team stats while I'm up there trying to do all this stuff here. They ran it. They ran it for 92 yards on 32 attempts. Now, it ain't but 2.9 times per attempt, but but running the ball does something. Can you see if you go down to the time of possession? It was 39 minutes and 40 seconds to 20 minutes and 20 seconds. Almost a 2-to-1 time of possession. So when you throw the ball all the time, what you do is you wear out your offensive lineman, and your defense gets ate up because they're on the field all the time, especially when other teams running the ball. Like I said, they wouldn't get them at 2.9 yards per rush, but it's 30 rushes. You got to factor in every time you run the ball, it's almost 2.5, 3 minutes off the clock. Okay. Every time, well, not every time you run it, but every time you run it, you get a first down. It's like 3 minutes off the clock. But when you throw it and you get incompletions, it stops the clock. Okay, this thing is not rocket science. So yeah, so the Rams have been getting out physical, and they're just being out schemed. And now Sean McVay's supposed to be this genius, but you're not winning against good teams throwing it 45 times and running 10, 15 times. You're eating your offensive line up, and then you wearing out your defensive line. Whoever thought that you say a team would whoop the Los Angeles Rams with Aaron Donald and Ramsey. Ramsey picked your jock up. Aaron Rodgers gave him the dead leg on that looked like a zone read type play. Supposedly had a fractured toe. Didn't look like it on that play. But yeah, man, that's Von Miller and Floyd, Aaron Donald. They shouldn't be getting manhandled like that. But the offense is playing into that because they're not possession of football, and they're putting their defense right back on the field. Okay, so the Rams have lost 3 in a row. OBJ did have a touchdown catch, 54-yarder. So it's what it was. Cooper Kupp 10 catches for 96 yards, and Van Jefferson 3 catches, 93 yards. Odell Beckham 5 for 81. So they had nice numbers, but a lot of that was already over and done with, and they really was like garbage yards. But and I'm just going to say this, y'all. Everybody knows, they know me. No, I'm not the biggest Green Bay fan. No, my Aaron Rodgers fan. I like his talent, but I can do it all. I can do without a lot of the histrionics and some of the whining and diva stuff that I can do without a lot of that. But right now, if I had to pick an MVP, it might be Aaron Rodgers. And if I had to pick the team to beat in the NFC, I might have to pick the Packers because they are 9-3 right now. Only a game behind, half a game or so behind the Arizona Cardinals, who they've beaten. And so if I had my bet right now, I would say the Arizona Cardinals the Green Bay Packers are the best team in the NFC right now. And if I had to pick right now, if you held a gun to my head, I probably shouldn't say that, but I would go with Aaron Rodgers as being the MVP. With all the stuff he did in the offseason, all the I'm immunized, and all the foolishness he caused. They really ain't missed a beat, man. They lost that. They had that little hiccup against the Minnesota Vikings, and I thought the Minnesota Vikings were gonna capitalize on that and win this week. They ain't do it. I'm not going to talk about them because they didn't get it done. They having internal problems. Everson Griffin, they start inside defensive lineman. Is hospitalized with he had an episode at his house, and then you had Tomlinson. Dalvin Tomlinson, Roll Tide, defensive tackle, was out with COVID. So as a result of that, 49ers was able to run it up and down the field on them. Okay, if the Vikings could have got off the field, they could have had a chance to get back in the football game if they was down 8 points. But they was 8-9, 6-4, yarding them on the ground. They couldn't stop them. Man. Could not stop them. So that's why they lost. They lost by the same margin that the Rams lost. It was up by 8 points. They lost 34-26. But yeah, the 49ers just ran it down their throat, man. It's like that's a demoralizing thing. I guess I can't talk about it for a minute. I just saw the stats right here. But it's a demoralizing thing, man. And defensive linemen and linebackers and stuff will tell you one of the things is the helpless feelings there is. It was helpless for Kirk Cousins too, because he's on the sideline as the 49ers converted first down after first down and third down conversion after third down conversion, and you weren't able to get them off the field. 49ers rushed for 208 yards. And Garoppolo, just like it was when they played the Rams, and not a whole lot. 17 to 26, 230, one touchdown, one interception. Elijah Mitchell, 27 carries, 133 yards. Debo Samuel, boy, they be lining up Debo in the backfield, and he get ahead of steam. You really don't want to tackle him. He's a wide receiver, but he runs like a running back. He had 6 carries for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns. Okay, and so as I said, they ran for 208 yards. I mean, they got the ball back with they're on 25-yard line and ran it down the Minnesota Vikings throat, man. 4 yards, 5 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 2 yards, 6 yards. 3rd and 3, first down. 3rd and 4, first down. 3rd and 1, first down. And they weren't able to do anything with them. So that's just like I said, they got 2 defensive linemen that are out, and so 49ers was able to just run it down their throat. So that's all I got on that one. So that's all I got for this week's games. Your boy took it on the chest, on the chin, and went 6-9. So we're gonna look to bounce back next week. Okay, so let's look at the games we got. Okay, all right, week 13. We're already at week 13. That means only got 4 weeks left. Man, it comes so quick and it's gone so quick, man. It's just what it is. And I'll be missing it when it's gone, man. I'll be missing it, man. I'll be missing it when it's gone. It's, come in quick and go quick. So you like wonder what the time was. First game we got tomorrow night, the game, Thursday night football. We got the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. Cowboys got their problems. I've done a couple of videos on that. I did a little pep-up video on Friday, but, things done went south. I'm going to do a video on that here in just a little bit. New Orleans, they're starting Taysom Hill. They're going to get Alvin Kamara back. They're getting Mark Ingram back. And we're going to see what happens. But, I got the Cowboys. I'm going to ride or die. I'm going to ride with them. I'm going to talk junk about them. Don't get it done. I'm not going to say, well, the officials did them in. Well, they'll be no. If you don't get it done, I'm going to talk about them. Bandwagon me or whatever. But I got the Cowboys in that. Okay? So the Sunday games. Okay? You got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. Do I need to ask? Okay? I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Atlanta Falcons, I know they won last week, but that's Jacksonville. Not winning at Tampa. No, they're not actually at Tampa. They went playing at Atlanta. Okay. Then you got the Arizona Cardinals at the Chicago Bears. I think Kyler Murray and Hopkins, AJ Green, Edmonds, I think they're all going to be back for that game. I look for them to just stomp the Chicago Bears. So I got the Arizona Cardinals in that game. When they get all their guys back, they should be good and healthy. Only thing you might think, maybe they might be a tad bit rusty because they have missed like 4 weeks, ankle injuries and different things. But I got Arizona. I'm not even messing with that. Then you got the Los Angeles Chargers at the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is one of the games I went back and forth on because I looked at how Cincinnati looked against Pittsburgh last week. Won 41-10. Just completely dismantle the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've never thought I'd see a Pittsburgh team get took apart like that, but that's what happened. And it's the Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, can't really put a hand on 1 week. Justin Herbert looks like he can't miss. Then you got last week, and then it's just they lose to the Denver Broncos. They got the Cincinnati Bengals this week. They're playing at Cincy. I got the Los Angeles Chargers, but I would not be surprised if the Bengals got them. Okay, would not be surprised at all. But I got the Chargers because I kind of feel like maybe the Chargers won't lose 2 in a row, and maybe the Cincinnati Bengals kind of feeling themselves a little bit like they did when they beat the Ravens and took an L to the Jets. So that's what I'm getting. So I got the Los Angeles Chargers in that one. Then you got the Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions. Look, Minnesota, I've been caping for them all season because I know that team has talent. I know that they've had some erosion in their defensive line due to some things outside of their control. So that's one of the things that's played into it. And I also forgot to mention Darwin Cook got hurt last week, so he went out in the second quarter with a shoulder, and so they picked up some running. I think they picked up who was that running back they picked up? I can't remember his name, but they picked up a running back, and off the street. I think to kind of take so it'd be him and Alexander Madison. But I think they got enough to beat the Detroit Lions, and who knows, maybe the Detroit Lions get that first win. But I'm not thinking it because they almost beat them when they played them in Minnesota. Almost beat them. They played them in Detroit. So, but I got the Minnesota Vikings. This one, if they lose this one, it looks like they might be done. They're 5-6. They'll be 5-7, and I think that'd be a done deal at that point. Maybe guys may need to be cleaning out their lockers. I think that might be over with. I think that team is way too talented to be 5-7 and whatnot and missing the playoffs. Yeah. You got the Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. So division game. I need to ask, Indianapolis Colts bounce back big and beat the Houston Texans. Look, Houston, you can't beat the Jets. You have no chance in HE hockey sticks to beat the Indianapolis Colts. So I got the Colts on that one. Then you got the New York Football Giants at the Miami Dolphins. Danny Dimes has some sort of an injury, an ankle, lower leg injury, some kind of injury he's got, or is it a shoulder? It's something. Neck. No, it's a neck. It's a neck injury. And they had slated Mike Glennon to start, but then I heard the last word I heard like a little while ago that Daniel Jones was trying to get a last appeal so he could start. But Miami Dolphins gonna win that game. Miami Dolphins playing some good football. They're playing in Miami too. You know what happens to quarterbacks and teams when they come to Miami? They get out, they stay out too late the night before, and they ain't, and then Miami Heat gets to them. I got the Miami Dolphins winning that one. Miami wins their fourth in a row, and they move to 6-7, and they might be a dark horse playoff team after going 0-5. That's a good story right there. It's a good story. Okay, you got the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Jets. The Eagles going to bounce back after that dismal showing against the New York Giants, and they'll take it out on their New York brethren, the New York Jets. I got Jalen Hurts pitching a party, and then it's going to run it by committee. Boston Scott, Miles Sanders, and Jalen Hurts running for 200 yards again. Jalen probably throws it for 175 and a couple of touchdowns, and they win going away. Okay. Then you got the Washington football team with the Las Vegas Raiders. Washington football team has won 3 in a row. They are 5-7 right now, and are just a game and a half behind the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East. They were calling the NFC least, but that's really not the worst division in football right now. I would go to the NFC North because you got an 0-10 team in there. Okay, most of their teams, the Cowboys 7-4. The Washington football team, is 5-6. Eagles 5-7. Giants 4-7. So they're not terrible. The division's not terrible. But look, I think the Raiders. What I saw Thursday on Thanksgiving, what they did to my Cowboys, David Carr. I don't know what's going to happen with Waller, if he's going to be able to play or not. But I got the Raiders winning that one against the Washington football team, and kind of keep them at bay and keep them off of us while we get our stuff together. But I got the Las Vegas Raiders winning that one. Then you got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Los Angeles Rams. Nothing to be said here. Rams, you fool around to lose this one. Somebody going to the house. Okay. Sorry, man. Somebody going to the house. Y'all lose this one. Y'all lose 4 straight. Y'all better take this chicken soup and get well against these Jacksonville Jaguars. All right. And then then we got Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. A week ago, I would say, man, this would be a toss-up. Maybe I would even go with the Steelers. They're playing at home. But after that showing I saw on Sunday, when they just couldn't do nothing, Ben Roethlisberger, like he's about 80 years old, couldn't do nothing. And they blitzed him. They ran it down their throat. I think Joe Mixon had like 130 yards on them. Never thought I'd see Pittsburgh get ran down, even with TJ Watt in Hightower. I can't see that happening. But I got Baltimore, winning that one. You don't pick against the Steelers because I respect how they do their business, but no, Baltimore not looking that great either. So this might be an ugly game to watch. Okay, but I got Baltimore winning a close one. Then you got San Francisco at the Seattle Seahawks. Look, Seattle, get the shovel. They done. Pack them in. And maybe Russ and or Pete be gone next year. This they're 3-8, second worst record in the NFC, and they're not going anywhere. San Francisco's won 3 in a row. They are 6-5, and they running the football with effectiveness and ferocity, and they're gonna run it right down Seattle's throat. And so no, San Francisco's winning that one. Okay. Then you got Sunday Night Football. You got the Denver Broncos or at the Kansas City Chiefs. Is it just me, or does it seem like Kansas City is on every other Sunday night? I know it's Pat. And I know the Denver Broncos have won a game or two, and they're kind of doing their thing, but I got Pat. Pat and kind of found his thing. They're kind of being more deliberate with their offense, running the ball a little shorter passes. Defense is playing lights out right now. I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. And then on Monday night, big game, biggest game of the week. Okay, you got the Buffalo Bills. Okay, who was 5-1 at one point. Now they are 7-4 right now, and they're playing the New England Patriots, who are 8-4 at Orchard Park in Buffalo. It's going to be a tough, hard-fought game, but I think the way the Buffalo Bills play, the way their offense is structured, they're too Josh Allen centric. They don't run the ball enough or are effective at it. They are one-dimensional. If any running is done, Josh Allen is running it. And if you can't be one-dimensional against the New England Patriots, they will embarrass you. They're already playing left-handed because they only pass it and they only run it with Josh Allen. They're gonna be thinking they got both hands behind their back this week. I got New England, man, going to Orchard Park and winning this game. I don't even think it's gonna be close. I think they're gonna force Josh Allen to 2 or 3 interceptions, and they're gonna shut down the run and make them one-dimensional, which they already are. And New England's defense is just smart. They're just hard hitting, and they just do what they do, man. Christian Barmore, Kyle Duggar, J.C. Jackson just intercepted everything. And then Tre'Davious White, the star cornerback for the Buffalo Bills, ACL tear last week. He's out for the season. And so you need all the hands on deck. And then Matthew Judon, that's a good dude. I couldn't remember his name last week. Matthew Judon, Kyle Duggar, Christian Barmore, Barmore and Hightower Roll Tide. I got to stick that in there. And then my man Kyle Van Noy seemed to be in the right place at the right time. They're just smart. They know what you do before you go do it. I got New England by maybe by a touchdown or two. So I got New England. But that's my picks. Hopefully I go 10-5 this week. Let's see what happens. And I hope y'all weeks are good this week. And with y'all's picks. And I'll catch you guys on the next side. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. Become a part of the Uncle Fred experience. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. That's all I got for now. Y'all be good. Catch y'all on the other side. See y'all now.